The name of the book is Four Pillars of Republicanism, Essays on the Foundational Principles of Our Republic and Its Preservation. Christopher Hollrah joins us. He's in our virtual green room. Now he's here on Author's Corner with me, Kate Delaney, on America Tonight. Chris, thanks for coming on.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
So what motivated you to write the book?
Well, several things. First of all, preservation of this republic outside the realm of policy. I hold a degree in political science, and I'm not really, policy is important to me, but the actual republic itself is more important to me. Policy is always on a pendulum. It goes from the left to the right and then back again. So not only that, just the republic itself, but I think we are all witnessing the rise of anti-democratic forces into the visible political spectrum in our country. And they are introducing violence into our political process. And one of the reasons that republics exist at all is to remove violence from the political process. And then, of course, Ben Franklin is rumored to have warned us when he emerged from the Constitutional Convention and a group of people asked him what kind of government they had made for the country. He's rumored to have replied, "A republic, if you can keep it." And this states quite clearly that the forces against democracy and republicanism are always at work. And that was the motivation.
Yeah, wow, that's a great warning. Ben Franklin, I used to walk by his house every single day when I was a kid, so I love that reference. You talk about the four pillars of republicanism. What are the four pillars, if you would tell the audience?
Well, so actually the book is in a revision process. Pretty soon the second edition will be out, and it's expanded to 5 essays, 5 pillars basically, and the title, the different title, it will have a different title, be Pillars of Our Republic, and the 5 pillars are the marketplace of ideas, freedom of conscience, secularism, presumption of innocence before the law, and the rule of law. And these, as well as other principles that I don't cover in this book, are those principles illuminated by the political philosophers of the Age of Enlightenment. And so those are the pillars I cover in the book.
Wow, right away what jumped out at me too, and even when we spoke off the air, tell me more about the marketplace of ideas.
So the marketplace, well, how long do we have? How many hours? No, I'm kidding. What we have to remember is that the political philosophers of the Age of Enlightenment, and this age, and I say that quite a bit, because I am a big fan of people who lived in that era, basically ran from the early mid 17th century. Often 1637 is often marked as the start, till basically the change of the turn of the century to the 19th century. It was a long period. And we have to remember that the people that lived, these thinkers who lived in that era, lived under monarchies. Okay? Now, under a monarchy, the marketplace of ideas was generally limited to the monarch's ideas. And the monarch's ideas generally ran along two lines. Preservation of the rule of the monarch, and then preservation of the monarchy as a whole. And what we also have to remember is that the ministers who served in the monarch's government did not swear their allegiance to any sort of constitution or set of concepts, or even people that the monarch governed. They swore their allegiance to the monarch, his or herself. Okay, so I state really that the marketplace of ideas is the original founding principle that these thinkers illuminated, because they understood that a truly functioning society and the government that rises from it must be built upon healthy, open, unrestricted debate, shifting coalitions, and compromise. In short, the marketplace of ideas. And what they understood had to happen was that the flow of government had to be reversed. Prior to this point, government flowed from those who govern down to those who are governed. And they understood that any truly functioning society that incorporated the marketplace of ideas into its foundation, the marketplace, those ideas had to come from those who are governed to those who govern. And that is how we ended up with modern liberal republicanism, in that the flow of the marketplace of ideas went from the people to the government, not from the government to the people. So that, in short, deals with the marketplace of ideas.
The other thing you talk about is the rule of law, and people use this term a lot. What happens if it disappears?
Okay, so the rule of law, if it disappears. So I'm going to restrain myself from speaking in apocalyptic terms. I state in the book several times that the forces of modern republicanism are always under siege from anti-democratic forces on a global scale. And in this country right now, in particular, we are under such threat. But the rule of law means, as is often said, that the law rules and people do not. Okay? So, but I define the rule of law more closely in the book. And here's how I define it. In a society that adheres to the philosophical proposition of the rule of law, those people who possess vast amounts of wealth and power are, and must be, held to the same standards of conduct as all other members of that society, even those who possess no wealth or power. Likewise, if you are a member of that same society and you possess little or no wealth or power, you are and must be guaranteed access to the same protections under the law as every other member of that society, especially those who possess vast amounts of wealth and power. So if this principle disappears, then government will once again flow from those who govern down to those who are governed. Instead of, as the Republic makes it, government flows from the bottom up, not from the top down. And we do not want that. I guarantee you, we do not want that. I don't care who you are. Because, I describe the marketplace of ideas as the original founding principle. And I think that's correct. But it is the rule of law that guarantees us all of the founding principles of our republic and the protections against the abuses of power in our Constitution, the protections afforded us by our Constitution. And those principles include both those that are in this book as well as others.
So when we look at the book, and again, you get this book, as you mentioned, it's being in the revised form, but you can always go to any of the great places that sell books, and as it's being revised, you'll see when it comes out on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and whatnot. What do you hope readers take away, Chris, from reading your book?
right now, as you just said, the book is 4 essays, and it's a short read because I got to tell you, I get right to the heart of the matter. When I write an essay, I get right to the heart of the matter. It's only 57 pages, and once the essay on the marketplace of ideas is added to the book, it's probably only going to be about 75 pages, and it'll be available probably in the next couple of weeks. So what I sincerely hope the reader takes away from the book are three main things. First, the value of each of these principles to our daily lives. I mean, these principles are basically unseen by us. I mean, as we live our daily lives, they are totally transparent, and we rarely think about them.
Yeah, wow. Again, the book is 4 Pillars of Republicanism, Essays on the Foundational Principles of Our Republic and Its Preservation. I so agree with you on staying involved, being involved. Christopher Hollrah, thanks so much for coming on.
You're very welcome, Kate. Have a wonderful day, and thank you.